Hello and welcome back to Silent War 2.0, Short Campaign 3, Hold the Line. I'm Tim, and we're getting ready to start the fourth turn, which is week 1 of January 1942. The current state of affairs is we've only managed to sink one ship so far for a total of 2,000 tons. And we've got one ship on patrol in the South China Sea 1 op area. Several sitting in the base there at Surabaya. And we've got one submarine that we're going to be getting as a reinforcement this week. So let's go ahead and get started. First off is our war event phase. We rolled a 6 this time, which is Special Mission, Barrier Mission in the East Indies Straits. So we have to deploy 2 submarines to the Makassar and Molucca Straits, and only C2 and task force results can be used. So we'll have to see. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get 2 submarines there, but let's see what we end up getting. Oh, yeah, we will. All right. After that, no torpedo improvement. Rolling on the ultra table. We got an 8, which is going to be the Marshalls and the Java Sea. There we go. We've got our first ultra area. Unfortunately, I think we're going to have to commit our subs elsewhere. Might not be able to take advantage of that. Next up then is our weather roll. We've got no existing weather, but we still need to roll to see if any new weather is created. For January, again, we need to roll a 0 for that. And we got a 9, so still no weather to worry about. So, moving on to the RRR segment. We get our first reinforcement, as I mentioned. The K-18 goes into the broom box at Surabaya. Ready submarine phase. So, these 2 that are pier side move into ready for sea. And then we've got 2 subs in the broom box that we have to roll for. Again, I believe they're both, oh no, one's a 3 for the readiness rating. So K-18, we need a 4 or less, 3 or less for K-8. So we'll do the black die for K-18, white die for K-8. Oh, they're both gonna be ready for sea. So that'll be nice. We got 4 submarines coming out. All right. So we're ready to go to the repair phase. And we just have the one still being worked on. Need to roll a 5 or less to get him moved down to the broom box. And we do not. So he's going to be another week at least in repairs. Prep for operations phase. Move all submarines from done section to the operating section. Just have the one here. All right. Now, before we start the operations segment, I'm going to pause the video here. I want to reread the rules on responding to SMZs. But I believe we'll be able to get the 2 we need to into the Makassar Strait at least. So I'll be right back. All right, I think I've got this sorted out. So I believe what was supposed to happen was during the war event phase, when I rolled for that event, at that time, any submarines that were within range on patrol movement would immediately patrol move into that SMZ. So either ones that were already on patrol in the Java Sea or in an adjacent op area would use patrol movement to enter that SMZ. The only sub we have patrolling is in the South China Sea 1, which is too far away. And at the time that we rolled that war event, there were no subs in the Ready for Sea box at Surabaya. So I don't believe any of those could have responded. So it looks like we don't have any subs that are able to respond to that event. So in that case, it says if we don't have enough submarines to fulfill the conditions, there's no penalty. Must move as many as possible. Well, in our case, as many as possible is none. So we can basically ignore that event. Hopefully I'm doing that right. So we'll move on to our operations segment. We'll just go ahead and take care of the ones that are sailing out this turn. So we've got a total of 4 new subs coming out, and we want to try to avoid congregating risk, but at the same time I think we want to take advantage of that ultra area in the Java Sea as much as we can. So I think I'm just going to send all 4 of them to the Java Sea. Well, actually, they won't be able to do that this turn because they won't be able to patrol this turn. So, in that case, I think I'll send 2 of them up to the South Philippine Sea and the other 2 up to join K-14 up there in the South China Sea 1. So let's see what we've got here. I believe they're all pretty much the same except for K8, which is an older sub. They're probably not going to be able to stay out very long with that D rating. Oops. Yeah, the others are pretty much the same. So I think what we'll do is we'll send K8. We'll transit move. So they're coming in here at the Java Sea. They can move up to 2 areas because that's their speed. So they will move through the Banda Sea up to the South Philippine Sea. And so we need to do a transit check for them. We don't count the area they moved from, but they did move through both the Banda Sea and the South Philippine Sea. Have 3 red boxes. So I think in that case we get to choose which one to use. And obviously I'll want to use the one that's not shallow or narrow. Transit events. No, transit checks required. It doesn't say what to do in the case of a tie, but I'm thinking I can choose. Just check one other place. Yep. So I'll choose the course, on the other hand, thematically, they'd probably be at most risk in the band of C. So yeah, let's play it that way. So we're rolling transit event check for movement through the band of C. We're going to have a -1 DRM for being transit side up, but then a +1 DRM for narrow or shallow op areas until we get radar equipped. That's not till 1943, so that won't be happening in this scenario. All right, so +1, -1 again, so 7, 8, or 9. We have a possibility of a transit event. We got a 7. Let's find out if anything bad happens to us on the way there. Black die is a 7, which is going to be the 3 through 7 row. White die is a 2, so that is going to be no event. So they made it there safely. We'll move them down to the done and flip them to patrol side. Let's also send our new sub we just got, the K-18, to that same area. So again, transit event check for them. We got a 9, so we do have to check it. 3 and a 6. So 3 is going to be on that 3 through 7 row. 6 is and for narrow or shallow waters, we add a +1 to both of these rolls. Both die rolls. If die roll equals or exceeds the number at which red boxes start, roll again on table in step 2. So both die rolls. So that paragraph only mentions the first die roll in step 2. So I'm going to think that would only apply to the 3, which makes that a 4. So we're on the 3 to 7. But then this die roll, which is actually the third die roll we made, is just a 6, so no event. But I think I'm going to try to confirm that that's how that works. But for now, we'll assume they made it there safely as well. So they will go down to the done section, patrol side up. All right, K-15, we're going to send up to South China Sea 1. So again, in this case, we're using South China Sea 1's activity box, which is not narrow or shallow. So we just have the -1 DRM for transit movement. And we got a 1, so no transit event there. They will go to done, patrol side up. And last but not least, K-16. Also going up there. Transit event check at a -1, 8. And we got a 2 and a 4. I'm pretty sure they're safe there. Yep. Okay, and then they will go patrol side up in the done section. So that just leaves us with K-14, who's actually going to try to find something to shoot at. So we're rolling on the activity chart. Again, the black die will be the first roll. We've got 7 and 0. So 7 is going to be a task force, or sorry, this is going to be high density. 0 is going to be a small convoy. So high density, small convoy, war period 1, 4332. Get that set up and be right back. All right, so here's what we got for our combat display. A lot of juicy targets there in column A, so we'll set up there again. And I think for this time, since we've got 4 red balls that we can flip, I'm going to start off in aggressive stance. So if you recall, aggressive stance will let me flip over an extra ship, and then we get +1 to our TDCs and -1 to the 2-hit die roll. So we're going to flip these 4. Got a 1,000-ton armored merchant, 2,000-ton merchant, another 2,000-ton merchant. Ooh, and a combat event. Let's see what that's going to be. 8. Right, so what we got before, not good. Counterattack. So we get counterattacked and cannot make an attack in the first round. And this time we do have a displayed ASW rating from that armored merchant. So the half is going to get rounded up to 1. And then we got our 0 from the war period. 3 red boxes in this op area. So that's going to be a total of 4 against our 2 defense. We're not in shallow waters this time, so don't have to worry about that. So we're going to be on the 2 row, the 1 to 2 row for the counterattack table. +1 DRM for being aggressive posture. So that 6 becomes a 7, but we're still safe. All right. Now we're in kind of a pickle because now we're going to have to reveal those other 3 that could potentially all be warships. But let's do it. We'll go in the re-attack round. This time we'll stick with standard posture, I think. Maybe even, I wonder if cautious might even be prudent at this point. It's going to, if we go cautious, we reveal 1 less ship. So we'd only have to reveal 2 of those. But then the TDCs get 1 added, but that'll be canceled by the -1 for the re-attack round. All right, but then we choose 1 TDC that doesn't get modified, and then as long as we select that one for the attack resolution, we don't have to worry about the +1 to hit on the die roll. And it makes us less susceptible to diligent escorts if we should happen to come across one of those. I don't think there are any though in war period 1. So all right, yeah, let's do that just to change it up a little bit. We'll go from aggressive to cautious this time. So we only have to flip 2 of these over. Let's see what this one is. Oh, good. They were flying an IJN flag, but they're really just a merchant. And then let's go with the bottom one here in column 2. Ooh, that's a destroyer, but it's only got ASW of 1, so Could have been worse. All right, so we get to put out our 3 TDCs. I think we'll choose the 2,000 tonners for sure. I think just in case those aren't good shots, let's go after the regular merchant since it has a lower armor value. All right, see what we got. Ooh, a -3 on that one. Excellent. +1 and +0. So yeah, we're going after that bottom guy. So, and we will choose that as our unmodified TDC. So we won't have to add +1 to it, and then we don't suffer the +1 DRM to the 2-hit roll as long as we target that one. So we're looking at 4 attack, -1 for the torpedo value, -1 for the ship defense, takes it down to 2, but then +3 for the TDC marker. Unfortunately, we don't get to do that down to -4 for the reattack round. So that's going to be 2 +3 is a 5, and then -2, sorry, because we're at 1.5 revealed ASW value. So round that up. Where was I at? 3 -1 is 2, +3 is 5, -2 is 3. So we need a 3 or less to hit. And we got a 9. We missed it by a mile. Then the reattack round, we're now looking at 2 revealed ASW plus the 3 red boxes is 5, minus our 2 defense, puts us onto the 3 to 4 row this time. And we are not aggressive attack posture this time. We're actually cautious, so -1 for that, +1 for the reattack. So it's just a straight die roll. 0, perfect. Nothing. All right, I'll get the combat display cleaned up and then we'll finish up week 1. All right, next we have to do our endurance check. We're a C rating, torpedo value of -1, so that's a 3. We did have aggressive posture for at least one of the combat rounds, so we're gonna have a +1 to our die roll. So we have to roll a 2 or less to be able to stay out and keep operating. And we do not. So this guy will have to RTB next turn. And that's going to be it for the operating phase, or operations segment. Conclude turn phase. No spotted markers, no weather. Just need to advance the date marker. And we're on to week 2. All right, so back to our war event phase. Oh, our ultra marker comes off from last turn. We got a 5 this time. No roll on the ultra table this turn. It'd be nice if we can take advantage of that at some point in the game. All right, next up. agriculture rolls, so skip that. So weather, again for January, we only get storms on a 0. And look at that, we got a 0. All right, let me find where that chart got to. So, since we did roll a 0 in January, we now roll to see what its initial location is going to be. We got a 1, so it's going to be in the Marshall Islands. And storm markers were not included with the game. They are available to print online, but I haven't gotten around to doing that yet, so I'm just going to use these little dice that I have. 6 will be a tropical storm, and then 1 will be Typhoon 1, and 2 will be Typhoon 2. So, Marshall Islands. Way over there. So unless it moves over into our areas, we won't really have to worry about that too much. So RRR segment, no reinforcements. We get our last 3 sub reinforcements in February. Ready submarine phase, nothing to do for that. Repair phase, we need a 5 or less to finish repairing K10. We got a 1. So they will be hopefully ready to come out next week. And then prep for operations phase. So all of these get moved up to the operating side. And now we go to the operations segment, 1 sub at a time. So we might as well start with our one that has to come back. He's going to go here to here, then into Surabaya. And he traveled through, looks like Java C is going to be the area to use for the transit event check. So -1 for being on transit side, but then +1 for narrow and or shallow. In this case, both. So straight roll, 7, 8, or 9 will, we got a 1. So they're good to go. They're not damaged, so they just go directly to the broom box. All right, now let's start. See if we can get some more kills here. We'll start with K18. Mark this as our current operating area. So we're rolling on the activity chart. Got a 4 and a 3. So 4 is going to be low density. 3 is a large convoy. So we've got a low density, large convoy, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'll get that set up and be right back. All right, here's what we're looking at. Looks like column A is going to be our ideal choice again. And we will go aggressive for this first attack round. So we get to reveal 1 extra, which will be 4. Nice. Nice. Very nice. Ooh. Ooh. That's a Nasty little 2,000-ton destroyer there. This is going to be rough. All right. Get our 3 TDC markers out. No point targeting that destroyer with a 6 defense rating, I don't think. Reveal these. +1, -2. Okay, looking good. +2. Oh, I was hoping that'd be a -3. Well, pretty obvious choice here. We'll go after that 2,000-ton merchant. So our attack value of 4, -1 for torpedoes, -1 for the ship defense, +2 for the TDC marker, but then -2 for the ASW value of the destroyer, leaves us at 2. Oh, but I almost forgot. All of our TDC markers are -1 for aggressive posture. So that's actually a -3 on there, so we're at a 3. So we need a 3 or less, and we get a +1 to our die roll. So hoping for a 4 or less on the black die. We got it. A 3 and a 5 should be enough to sink. So the 5 gets our -1 torpedo value added to it, so it's really a 4. We were a 2,000-ton merchant, so it's the 1 to 4 line, and that is enough to sink it. So this goes back in the cup. We move up 2 more thousands of tons and 1 more ship. All right, for the counterattack then, we've got 2 from the destroyer, 3 for the red boxes in our op area. Is going to be 5, and then minus our 2 defense. So we're on the 3 to 4 column. I got a 2, so that's not going to do anything to us. There was a +1 there for attack posture, but still safe. All right, so for the re-attack round, boy, again, I'm worried about those IJN flags over there in column B. I think I did this wrong last turn. I just realized something. When you switch attack postures between your attack round and your re-attack round, you're only allowed to go 1 level unless you have a super skipper. So because we're aggressive in the first round, we can only revert to standard for the second round. Should have done that for the last turn. I don't think it would have made a difference. We would have had to reveal another ship, so maybe it would have. But we'll, a little too late to do anything about that. We'll definitely keep that in mind going forward. So we'll do normal posture. I think we'll stay in this column. I'd like to try to possibly get a shot on one of those 2. We could slide over. Yeah, we'll just stay here. So we're going to have to reveal 3, which will be all 3 of these. This could be really bad. Ooh. Okay. There's another destroyer. Oh, not as bad as I thought. All right. So let's get our 3 TDC markers out. I think we'll go after the 2 in our column for sure. And then that, oops. I think we'll go after the Izumo. All right, let's flip these. -1. Remember, these all get an additional -1 for the reattack round. Okay, then. Let's see if we can make anything happen here. So that's going to be a -2 on the converted passenger ship. But we've got a 3 attack after we take into account the torpedoes. -3 for the ship makes it a 0, but then +2 for the TDC marker, but then -3 for the ASW value. So yeah, we don't have a shot. Do not have a shot. But we still get counterattacked. So now we're looking at 3 plus our 3 red boxes minus our 2 defense. So we're on the 4, which is still the 3 to 4 row. But now we've got +1 for the reattack round. Ooh, and he got an 8, which is going to convert up to a 9. 3 to 4 row, a 9 is damaged. All right. Need to do an endurance check for him. He's a C rating. So again, we're looking at a 3, but then +1 for damaged, +1 for aggressive. So we have to roll a 0 or a 1, or we're going home. A 2. So they will RTB next turn. Next up, we have the K8. Just getting this combat display cleaned up real quick. K8, rolling for search and contact. We've got a 5, which is going to be moderate density, and a 3. It's a large convoy again. So moderate density, large convoy, 4322. I'll get that set up. All right, here we are. We're gonna stick with column A. These guys really need a low armored target because they only have an attack rating of 2. We're going to just go standard posture this time. Reveal these 3. We're going to get something with only 1 defense. Nope. We need the TDCs to be kind. +1, -1, +3. Ugh. be a very low probability attack if we can even make one. Let's see, 2 is only a 1. Yeah, -2 for the defense on the armored merchant. It's a -1. The -1 brings it back up to 0. But then -1 for the half rating for the ASW value. No shot possible. So in this case, if we don't make a shot, I believe we have no counterattack since it's the first round. And at this point, I think our best bet is just to withdraw rather than risk another counterattack. Because we're going to have to flip, even if we go cautious, we're going to have to flip those 2 IJN flags. Yep, we're just going to withdraw. So straight to the endurance check. No modifiers there, but this guy's a rating of D. So we've got to roll a 2 or less to stick around. Nope, 4. So he will RTB next turn. All right, on to the South China Sea 1 area. K16. Got an 8 and a 2. So 8's going to be high density. 2 is small convoy, I believe. Yes. So high density, small convoy. 4332. Be right back. All right, here's what we have. We got one of these no solutions, evading. I think this time I'm going to try setting up in column B. And we'll go standard posture for the first attack round. So we only reveal 2 in that case, I believe. Or no, sorry. Standard is regular, so 3. We'll do the 2 red balls here in column B. Nice. And nice. And I think I want to take a peek at something over there in column C. Go with the bottom one. Okay. Not terrible. All right, let's see what we can get for target solutions. +2 over there. Won't be going for that. A 0 and a -3. There we go. Should be an easy target. Would like to have that -3 up on that oiler, but oh well. So we got our 4, -1 is 3, -2 for the ship, -1 for the half point of ASW, 0, but then +3 for the TDC marker. So we need a 3 or less. And we got a 5. right. I was originally thinking of possibly sliding over to column C for the reattack round and taking a peek at what's over in column D. But I think we'll just stick with, I like these targets here in column B, so I think I'll stay there. We'll continue to be standard posture, so we get to flip over at least one more red ball. So we'll flip, or no, we gotta flip. If we stay in C, yeah, we're gonna have to flip all three IJNs. So maybe we go cautious. We'll flip this guy. Oh no, aircraft. And this guy. Oh, good. It's a 15,000 ton cruiser, I believe. Oh, it's going to be rough, though. We are cautious. So let's put out our 3 TDC markers. Maybe. For this third one, there's no way I'm going to be able to get that cruiser, so I'm thinking maybe go after one of these unrevealeds. Let's try over here. Okay. -2, that's a -3 for reattack. +3. +1. Well, do we go for the mystery one? Let's see if we even have a shot. You treat it as if it has 1 defense when it's unrevealed. So that would be a 3 minus the 1 defense, -3 for the ASW. That puts us at -1. Another -1 for being in the adjacent column is at -2. That TDC marker is actually a -3. So that's going to put us at 1. Yep, I think that's what we do. So we'll reveal it. Okay, it actually has 2 defense, so we're down to needing to roll a 1 or less. Or no, a 0. Let me refigure this. 3. -3 for the ASW. -2 for the armor. -1 for the column. +3 for the TDC. Yeah, we need a 0. We do have a shot, but we need a 0. Nope, 7. So then the counterattack this time is going to be 3 plus the 3 red boxes is 6. Did we do counterattack? I think I forgot to do counterattack after the first round. Or did I? Well, I'll do it now. If I actually did it before, we'll just ignore this. But so from the first round, all we had was that wasn't revealed. We just had the 1/2 rating, so that would have been 1 plus 3 is 4 minus our 2 defense. So we would have been on the 1 to 2 column. We rolled a 4. We were standard posture, so yeah, that wouldn't have had any effect. I'm pretty sure I didn't do it. This time, though, we're at 3 ASW plus 3 is 6 minus our 2 defense is now we're on the 3 to 4 column. And we rolled a 0. So even with the +1 for reattack, nothing. And actually -1 for cautious. So. Yeah, I should have said, since we were cautious, this was my unmodified TDC counter, and it was the one we attacked. All right, so came up short there again. Endurance check. He's a C. No modifiers, so 3 or less to stay around. 2. He gets to patrol again next week. And last but not least, we got K15. Got a 3 and a 9. So 3 is going to be low density. 9 is task force, obviously. So low density task force is going to be 1, 2, 2, 3. I'll get that set up and be right back. All right, I really like the looks of this. Target rich environment, as they say. Let's set up in column B. Let's go aggressive. So we're going to reveal 4 ships. Oh boy. Well, at least those still only add up to 1. A lot of armed merchants here. All right. I think we go after the 2 in our column and the 1,000-ton merchant in column C. Okay. Oh, nice. Very nice. And those all have a -1 for aggressive posture. Even the -3 does. So yeah, I think we go after that armed merchant. So we're at a 3, -3, then +4, and then -1. So we need a 3 or less. Come on, we're due here. 3 or less and a big number on the white. There's our 3. Unfortunately, we only got a 2. Actually, a 4 or less would have done it because we had our +1 DRM. Hopefully we at least damaged it. Let's see. I don't think we did. 5,000 tons. Nope, that 2 gets reduced to a 1. No effect. That's what you got to deal with these early war torpedoes. At least the Dutch torpedoes aren't as bad as the U.S. torpedoes at the beginning of the war. All right, so our counterattack is going to be 1 plus our 3 red boxes minus our 2 defense. So we're on the 1 to 2 row. And we got a 1. Plus 1 for aggressive, but still nothing. All right. I think we stay in this column so that we only have to flip over that ship in column A. And I think we stay aggressive. Ooh, combat event. Tonnage doubled would be nice. 2. Uh-oh. Torpedo malfunction. So we have to roll another die. This used to, in the first edition of the game, this was just always circular running torpedo, but they made it a little more exciting, I guess you could say, in 2.0. Our second roll is a 6, which is going to be dead torpedo. The torpedo has suffered a major malfunction without danger to the submarine. The submarine's attack value is halved for the current attack round due to corrective activities in the torpedo room. Conduct counterattack round as normal. Well, that's not going to be good. So we're down to 2 attack now. Let's get our TDC markers again. You get -2 on them this time for being re-attack and aggressive posture. Unless it's a -3 already. Can't go below -4. All right. Ooh. Maybe get another shot at that guy. Wow. So I have to do a little math here. I think we might actually have a better shot at the 1,000-ton merchant. Because we're only at 2 attack now, which gets reduced to 1. That's going to be -1 for their defense, -1 for adjacent column, but then +3 for the TDC. Puts it back to 2, and then -1 for the ASW value. So we need a 1 or less if we go after him. I'm not even sure we have a shot at this guy. Is that the -4? That's basically, yeah, I guess we still do. Because that TDC of -4 wipes out his defense and the ASW value, so we still got our attack value of 1 left. So either one, we need a 1 or less. Let's go after the higher tonnage one. So we're going after the armored merchant again. We need a 1 or less, but we have a +1 for aggressive posture. We rolled a 7. Oh, we did get a big number on white, though. Them's the breaks. Our counterattack round then will be 1 plus 3 is 4, minus our defense of 2. And then we're on the 1 to 2 row, but now we've got +1 for aggressive attack posture, +1 for re-attack round. We're at a +2. Nice, we rolled a 1, so we're good. We got away, but still came up empty. So we've got our C rating again, needing a 3 or less, but a +1 for aggressive posture. Need a 2 or less. Nope. Going back home. Right. That will, other than, we do have some weather stuff to do now in the end turn or conclude turn phase. So we remove or improve tropical storms and typhoons. Let's see how that works. Find the weather chart again. That's for movement. Let me check again how we (721) and 722. All right, weather event strengthening for each typhoon on the map, roll a D10. Don't have any of those. Existing typhoon movement. None of that. Oh, I see. So basically, you have to roll a tropical storm result again, where a tropical storm already exists, in order for it to become a typhoon. And then once it's a typhoon, it can move. Well, it can possibly intensify and then possibly move. Yeah, so at this point, we still just have our tropical storm out there in the Marshall Islands. Nothing's going to happen there. So, the only thing we got to do, I think, is advance the date. And we're on to week 3, January 42. All right, let's keep plugging along here. We're just over an hour. I want to try to get through these last 2 weeks of January. All right, so back to our war event table. We got a 3 this time. No roll on the ultra table. Seems to be a pretty common result. 50% chance of that. All right, then we go to ultra, we don't do. So weather phase, storm strengthening, storm movement, new storm formation. All right, so There's no strengthening or movement because we don't have a typhoon out yet. So let's see if we get a new storm. Nope, rolled a 1. No reinforcements, ready. We've got 2 subs in the broom box. We'll do black die for the top one, white die for the bottom one. Either one. They were both, well, one was a 4, one was a 3. So they both go pure side. And no repair. So prep for operations. And again, we'll handle these RTBs first. So K8 will travel back through the band to C and the Java C, so they're both the same. 3 red boxes and narrow and shallow. So we've got our +1 for narrow, shallow, -1 for transit again. So 7, 8, or 9. We got a 2. He goes back to the broom box. And same thing for, what was this again? K18, except he's damaged. So 7, 8, or 9. We did get a 7. See if anything happens to him. 4 and 3. Radar, here it is. That was a 4. +1 to the 4 is still in the 3 to 7, and then the 3 is nothing. So he makes it back okay, but since he's damaged, we have to roll to see how badly damaged he is. And a 4. It's going to be light damage, so he goes to repair box 1. All right, next, South China C1. This guy's coming back home through those areas. Again, this will be the one that triggers it. So +1, -1. Looking at 7, 8, or 9. 7. And a 5 with a +1 is a 6. Uh-oh. 3 to 7 row, and we rolled a 9 on the white die. So he is spotted, engaged, and damaged. Return to base. So the spotted doesn't really matter since he's making it. Well, actually, it does matter. Since we had a transit event occur, I believe their movement is halted in that op area. So he actually didn't make it back to base. He's already got an RTB marker, but now he's spotted and damaged. I believe I did that correctly. Let me know in the comments if you think otherwise. And that just leaves us with K16. He can do search and contact. 3 and 8 is going to be low density task force. 1, 2, 2, 3. Be right back. Well, this isn't looking that good. Got another no solution. This guy, we had a bad angle on him. So we just got to get some ships sunk. So I'm just going to play it safe. Set up here in column A. We'll go aggressive. We can only flip 2. It's going to be this guy. Ooh, not destroyer. All right. Surely we can get this guy sunk in 2 rounds. We only have 2 valid targets, so we just pull 2 markers. Zero on the destroyer plus 2. Come on. Do we have a shot? I don't think so. 3. -2. The defense. -2 for the TDC. Is -1, and then we got another -1 from that ASW. So yeah, we have no shot, but that means they don't counterattack us. We'll just stay here. Oh, that did have a -1 to the TDC marker, but I still don't think it mattered. Did it? We did have a shot. That was a +2, right? So it's really a +1. Let's see. 3 -2 -1 for the ASW is 0. -1. I guess, I don't know. I think if you're negative, you don't get to take the shot, even though theoretically with the +1 die roll modifier, we could get it up to 0. But I think if it's a negative, you're not even allowed to take a shot. So we'll go with that. So we'll do the re-attack, stay in the same column, stay aggressive. Get a better solution this time. Oh, how'd that get in there? Put that back in the wrong cup. No, not good. At least I think we have a shot this time. So we have the 3 attack from the submarine, -2 defense on the merchant, another -1 from the destroyer, takes us down to 0. The TDC is a 0 since we're in the re-attack round and aggressive posture. So we need a 0 to hit, but then we have the -1 to our die roll from aggressive posture. So 0 or 1 will get us a hit. And we got a 6. For the reattack, or the counterattack, we've got 1 from the destroyer, 3 from the red boxes in the South China Sea. And so minus our 2 defense puts us on the 1 to 2 column. And we've got +1 for reattack round, +1 for aggressive posture. And they just rolled a 2, so we're safe. That bumps it up to 4, but still in the white area. All right, and that was our operating area there. So we need to do our endurance check. We're a C rating. War period 1, we need a 3 or less, -1 for, or +1, sorry, for aggressive posture. And we got an 8, so we are going home. All right, so that is all of our subs. So that concludes the operations segment. Onto the intern segment. One correction, I did look up the bit about removing weather markers, and I did that wrong last turn. So let's get that corrected. We're supposed to, during the conclude turn phase, all Typhoon 2s are removed from the map, and Typhoon 1s and tropical storm markers are removed during December to May. So basically it doesn't stick around during those months. So last week we should have actually removed the weather, the tropical storm from the Marshall Islands. That's no longer there, and we didn't have any new ones come out, so nothing to do there for this turn. And then we advance to week 4. All right, so going on to week 4, we'll start off with the war event phase. We got a 2, which is special mission, barrier mission in the East Indies Straits. So we have to deploy 4 submarines to Makassar and Molucca Straits. Doesn't look like we have anyone that can actually get there, since these guys are both RTBing. No one's out on patrol. So no one can actually get to that again, same as the last time we got it. And again, I'm assuming that you would have to deploy them actually now during the war event phase and not during the operations phase. But if that is incorrect, please let me know. I might try to get some clarification from that as well on Board Game Geek. But yeah, as it stands, no effect from that. So Ultra phase, we'll get to roll on the Ultra table this time. We got a 1, which is going to be Empire Pacific and the Gilberts. So nothing that we can take advantage of, so I won't even bother marking it. Then for the weather phase, again, nothing out there to strengthen. So we'll just roll to see if we get a new tropical storm to appear. We're in January now, so we need a 0. And we got a 4. So no new weather. That takes us to the RRR segment. So first up is reinforcements. We have no more reinforcements until next week. Ready submarine phase. So everyone in the pier side box, which are going to be these two, go to ready for C, and then we roll to see if K8 gets to come out and play this turn or not. They have a readiness rating of 3, so we need a 3 or less. We got a 7, so he'll go pier side. Then we've got repair phase. We've got the K18 in repair box 1. We need a 5 or less to bring him out to the broom box. And we got a 7, so he stays there. All right, and then prep for operations phase. These guys move up to operating. And that's it. Ready for the operations segment. We got no one on patrol, so we can skip the patrol movement phase and the search and contact phase and the combat phase for all submarines. So transit movement phase only for each of these guys. So we'll take care of the ones that are returning first. This guy, he's already in the Java C, so he doesn't really need to move at all. No transit check required to go into Surabaya. I guess I forgot we were supposed to roll at the end of last turn to see if he lost his spotted marker. Not that it's going to make a difference, but and he does. A 0 to 6, he loses his spotted marker. So we'll get rid of that. So he's coming back to base damage, so we need to roll to see how bad the damage was. A 3 is light damage, so he'll go into repair box 1. Joining K18 there. All right, next we've got K16 returning to base. He's going to be traveling through South China Sea 2 and the Java Sea. So we will have to do a transit event check for him using the Java Sea's activity chart. So we've got 7, 8, or 9. He's going to have the -1 for being on transit side, but then +1 for being in shallow and or narrow waters. We got a 6, so he just managed to avoid having a transit event. So he makes it back, and he is undamaged, so he gets to go straight to the broom box. Next up, we have the 2 that are ready for C to decide where we want to send them. We've got one older and one newer sub. I think we'll just send them. Let's send those guys to the, we'll just send them both to the South Philippine Sea. I guess technically we do it one at a time. So K14 goes there, transit event check using I think we decided we'd use the Banda C for that, since we'd go with whatever was the worst area for them to move through because of the shallow narrow there. So same thing, -1 for transit, +1 for narrow and shallow. They got a 7, so we do have to roll for a transit event. And we got 3 and 9. And remember, the +1 for shallow waters also applies to that first die roll. So that makes it a 4, but it's still on the 3 to 7 row. And a 9, is spotted, engaged, and damaged, return to base. Well, he's not having very good luck. So he actually gets stopped there in the band of C, spotted, damaged, and he has to return to base. All right, and then K10 is going to try to make that same journey. See if anything happens to him along the way. Yep, he rolled an 8, so 7 gets bumped up to an 8, and then a 2 for the second roll. So we're on the 8 row now. But fortunately, with the 2 for the second roll, nothing happens to him. So he will get to patrol there next turn. All right, and that is all we have to do for turn 4, or week 4, sorry, of January. So moving on to the conclude turn phase, all we need to do is advance the markers. So we'll be on week 1 of February 1942. So we'll wrap the video there. Current state of affairs at the end of January. We've only managed to sink 2 ships for 4,000 tons. And we've got 1 ship, or 1 sub, the K-14, having to return to base. K-10 will be out on patrol next turn. And then we've got some subs waiting to come out and get repaired at Surabaya. So that'll do it for January 1942. We'll pick up in the next video with February. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.